Hi, I'm Jason Bonham. Welcome to Rock Scene. My rock scene is, apart from the obvious, growing up in the household of Led Zeppelin, Father John Bonham, didn't really know that much of craziness. He was just dad for me. It wasn't as wild as one would think. Just strange people that were probably Beatles, and people like Paul Rodgers and Bad Company, and Jeff Beck would come over the house, Beck Bevan, but they were just other friends of dad, really. Ozzy was a big friend of dad's back in the day. I remember him pissing in father's wardrobe, walking around the house looking for the bathroom in a coma. One time, yeah, he was. They were good friends. I remember they went out shooting one time, Ozzy and dad. They didn't want to shoot anything. They just wanted to go and shoot guns, and they just walked around dad's farm with shotguns. Two drunken men with shotguns shooting trees. What have the trees ever done? Thank God. I mean, and Ozzy was like, hey John, where's you got these guns, man? Let's shoot these guns. And then, oh well, this is crazy. So, I got introduced to craziness very early on. 17, I joined a band called Air Race. We went on tour with Queen. I opened up for AC/DC first, then got a phone call, drove. Those are the days, back in the VW, trailer on the back, setting up your own stuff. We didn't care how much money we got, it wasn't about the money. So we were going to open up to AC/DC. I remember Brian Johnson giving me a bottle of Jack Daniels. And I said, I don't drink. And the rest of the band went, we do. And they grabbed it. And then about 20 years later, I see Brian Johnson in the Rainbow in LA. And he goes, I see you made up for that non-drinking league. And I was plastered. And the man behind the camera will tell you I used to get quite drunk in the day. Obviously Queen was an amazing experience to open up for a band like them, so huge, hugely influential now as well. But at the time for me, it was a huge thing of Roger Taylor. We both had the same drum kit, the Ludwig, the Chromo Wood, and they were big Zeppelin fans. So one of the biggest moments of my life, I saw Freddie Mercury come outside the door of the dressing room. And I saw him ask, which one's Jason? And the guy pointed, and he came walking in the room. Just wanted to say, we, you know, as a band, loved your father. I loved your father very much. The music of Led Zeppelin was just timeless for us. If there's anything you need, please tell me, and we'll help you in any way we can. And he shook my hand, and the rest of the guys kind of just floated back out the room. And a very special moment for me. I could see the respect from Roger Taylor and the crew, and Brian and John Deacon. I became under their wing, and they would take me out. And they taught me so much about those days of rock and roll, of excess and debauchery. They said, well, your father's not around, so maybe we should be the ones that help you out a little bit, introduce you to the ways. And as you are when you're 17, of course you say, yes, I've done everything when they ask you. So you just go in head first. You don't want to be the uncool guy, and you don't want to be the guy that wanders around going, why aren't there any other guys in here? Why is it all girls? Well, then you figure out where you are. So yeah, a lot happened in those early days. Toured with Ted Nugent, Def Leppard, Crocus, yeah, Meatloaf. We did a lot, which then led me to Jimmy Page. Firm, Virginia Woolf. Roger Taylor from Queen was producing a band called Virginia Woolf. He called me after the Queen tour. I then joined Virginia Woolf. Virginia Woolf got a phone call. We opened up with the Firm. Jimmy watched me with the Firm in '86. '87 I was doing the Outrider album. '88 went on tour with Jimmy Page. Got to do the Led Zeppelin reunion for 40th anniversary. '89 Bonham, we got signed, and I got my solo band out, and that's when we met. So yeah, and it kind of just, we got to that point of got great success in the short time we had in Bonham. In '89-92 with Motley Crue and Occult and Dangerous Toys and all the boys, right at a fun time. I mean, it was a fun time. For me, being an English guy, never experiencing the rainbow scene and the whole LA hang, it was a great time to be around there. And I came in right at the end of it, but it was still lots of fun. I would never change anything about those days. They were great. Sadly, we lost the singer years later. As time flies, you know, the times changed. Along came Nirvana and the Soundgarns and Seattle. And I remember we kind of went off on a different tangent, like every band was trying to do, stay as fresh as you could. With Marty Fredriksson, the singer, and we trying to change the name of the band, called it Motherland. Then I kind of got a little bit down on it all at the same time, spiraling with alcohol and booze and drugs and doing whatever. I got into my 30s and got a part in a movie. After I'd kind of given up on rock and roll, I started a family and kind of was like, you know what, I need to spend some more time at home. I got part in a movie called Rockstar. What was I playing? I was playing an alcoholic rock drummer. So no acting was involved. For me, it was a great, it was actually a realization at that point that I really did have a problem. I was trying to get kicked out of that movie set so often, along with my good pal Zach Wilde. We were kind of very much rebels. We were definitely the musicians of that crew. We were badly behaved, and we did not like to be told what time to get to anywhere, especially getting told to wait around. But it was good fun. I still get the check, so I thank you very much. I still, every now and again, it's still on the TV, and I still have those. I can go, oh, there it is. There's the part. Well, I'm lying there having the blood transfusion with the wig on and the hair. Good, but say once again, good times. Then I got myself together, sober, and believe it or not, I joined the London Choir Boys, which is my first sober band. Now, I know if you know the rock scene, you know Spike and those boys. They are not sober boys. So it was that was my introduction back to playing again, and then literally got a phone call from Phil Mogg, and I joined UFO soon after. For about 3 years, did an album, which led me to get a phone call from Mick Jones. Ended up doing Foreigner for 4 years, moved to America, was constantly working. Then I got the phone call from Robert, and we did the Led Zeppelin reunion in 2007, which was an out-of-body experience, as you can imagine. A wonderful 6 weeks prior, to be around them, to be with them as a grown man now, not as the kid, not as the annoying kid. That was one of the definite highlights in my life, to go out with them and be just kind of like talking to them like, you know, on an equal level, at the same time without being like too much of a fan, was the hardest thing, because I'd suddenly, after all this time, I'd realized these guys are Led Zeppelin. I didn't kind of expect it. They could have anybody playing drums. This isn't my guarantee in life. And I'd realised that as I was a sober man, I'd learned that, you know, the world does not owe you a living. Just because your time was in Led Zeppelin doesn't mean to say you're going to get the gig. So I went back in and did a lot of work, and really spent the time and focused on the songs and different arrangements, and just wanted to try and get it right one night. You know, when you get a few cracks at the whip, and I was never very happy with the different times I played. So it's nice that we ended, if anything, if it never happens again, it ended back on a high, not only for me, but for, they definitely relaunched me back into a spotlight. Once that was released, the Celebration Day DVD, Zeppelin, suddenly the phone was ringing again, and you know, it's like, oh really, I've been playing drums all my life, you know that, right? Okay. Just, I haven't been playing for a few years, just want you to know that I've been playing all my life, as you can imagine. But great, I mean, listen, I can't complain. I'm 52, I'm work more now than I've ever worked before, not only with the Jason Bonham Led Zeppelin Evening project. There is Circle with Sammy Hagar, Michael Anthony and Vic Johnson, and also Black Country Communion is back on the radar again. We're hopefully going to do a new album, which will be 5, or by now it will be some title. I thought, you know, homes of the unholy or something. But it's been, as I said, it's a mad, crazy ride, but definitely with persistence and being able to kind of make enough money to keep going has always kept me in there. And I believe that is just to keep enough to keep your head above water, and then to enjoy it, to get back to the point of now it's enjoyable. You know, I'm very grateful, and everything's going very good in my life. My children are growing up fast, 25 and 22. So it's who'd have thought it? I still wonder when I'm going to become an adult.